I'm probably gutted. I'm something has to change, but I don't know who knew what. I'm thinking, why doesn't it just come out there then? You know, I knew, and I'm hearing everybody else is saying they've only just found out. It's fake.
There was an adverse finding of a trace substance in one of Conor Benn's VADA tests. Both guys for this fight signed up to
attempted murder, and they wanted me to be an accomplice to it. They were asking me to take money to come onto the zone and be a part.
The news has exploded across the boxing world. Conor Benn has failed another drug test, his third just 1 week before his highly anticipated rematch with Chris Eubank Jr. And this time, there's no hiding from it. Fans are furious, and for once, it's Eubank Jr. who stands tall as the disciplined, clean professional in a rivalry that's spiraling out of control.
I always say, it don't matter what drugs you take. It doesn't make you a better fighter. Might make you stronger. Might make you fit. It doesn't make you a better fighter. That's proof. You know. So until more news comes out, you just got.
At the center of the storm stands Eddie Hearn, talking, explaining, defending, because he knows the pressure is on. He's answering every question, trying to calm the outrage. But the more he talks, the heavier his words sound. A third positive test isn't a crisis you can spin. It's an avalanche that buries excuses.
At the moment, the British Boxing Board of Control aren't. So we have to speak with them, deal with the legal situation and see where it lands. And this is quite fresh. Obviously, I don't even think it's 30 minutes. I think it's more like 10 or 15 minutes since that. And, you know, we'll see what...
While Eddie scrambles to contain the damage, Chris Eubank Jr. speaks with calm confidence. He doesn't need to raise his voice. His record speaks for him. He reminds the world that he's passed every single test, even while on holiday. His tone, sharp, certain, unapologetic. He knows he's the clean athlete in this rivalry, and now, the whole world knows it too.
It's a shame, man. You know, it's a shame that we have something now that kind of muddies the story, if anything.
Then comes Duke McKenzie, cutting through all the noise. He calls it what it is, disrespect. Not just to the sport, but to Nigel Benn, Conor's own father. A man who built his legacy through grit, not shortcuts. When a former world champion says that, you know the disappointment runs deep. And while Conor's reputation sinks, Eubank Jr.'s image rises with every clean test.
So from a business perspective, it kind of makes sense because everybody gets paid. But is Derek Chisora a real threat to Tyson Fury? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Is Tyson Fury going to steamroll him and beat him again? I'll put my house on it.
Even John Fury, who usually tries to stay neutral, can't ignore this. With his old school mindset, he says it plain. If it's true, ban him. When even Fury starts talking bans, you know the situation has gone rotten.
Put the belts in the river and give Deontay Wilder another shot, and Joshua, because none of them's worthy of it. None of them. And I've said it first, he doesn't need the money. He's won everything. If they're not proper fighting men, let them get on. Jog on, my friend.
You think either one of them makes their way back to a world title?
Who? Yeah, well...
Then Gareth A. Davies drops the most chilling detail. 14 different supplements found in Benn's system. Experts are already analyzing what that cocktail could mean. This isn't a single mistake anymore. It's a pattern. And the contrast couldn't be clearer. Conor Benn looks frantic. Chris Eubank Jr. looks focused.
Been reporting on it this morning. I'm just slowly coming up. One of my colleagues, Jeremy Wilson's doing it for the Telegraph. He's the drugs expert or the doping expert on the desk. And I think there was something like 14 supplements that he was using.
Frank Warren doesn't hold back. He says it straight. A failed test is a failed test. No sugarcoating, no spin. He calls on the governing bodies to act now, not later, because every delay makes the sport look weaker. Meanwhile, Eubank Jr. stands untouched, a spotless record in a dirty situation.
The Conor failed a drug test. That is a fact. It's not been denied anywhere. There's lots of talk about, let's see how this works out, and he's entitled to get his day and so forth. Well, it should be dealt with very...
Then Carl Frampton brings the hammer down. He calls for lifetime bans for repeat offenders, saying fighters who cheat put lives at risk. And when a respected world champion like Frampton talks like that, the damage becomes almost permanent. Conor's name is collapsing. Eubank's stock is soaring.
High-profile guys getting caught, and it's just horrible. Genuinely, and I know you were about saying, without going fucking fully mental here, I just believe we were caught with any performance-enhancing drug, you should be banned. Like,
Johnny Nelson doesn't pull punches either. He says what everyone's thinking. No drug makes you a smarter fighter. No pill teaches timing. No supplement replaces heart. 3 failed tests, yet no real improvement in the ring. Nelson's message hits hard. You can cheat the system, but you can't cheat skill. And while Benn keeps falling, Eubank Jr. just keeps proving discipline still matters.
Drugs don't make you a better fighter. Drugs may make you a little stronger, may make you a little, give you a bit more energy, but it don't make you technically smart. It doesn't give you all of that, you know. So those drug cheats that do it purposely, you got to remember, you know, why are you doing it? What difference is it going to make? It's going to make you like a boxing.
Dave Coldwell captures the mood perfectly. Disbelief mixed with anger, because this isn't a one-off. Fans have seen this before. Now it's happening again, at the worst possible time. How many second chances does one fighter get? Every failed test pushes Conor further from his father's legacy. Every clean test makes Eubank look like the professional he's always claimed to be.
As a brutal war, just brilliant.
Should Martin McCauley have been in the ring, do you think? A lot of people saying...
Listen, hindsight's unbelievable. But if you ask Martin McCauley now, who's probably got about 3 million by, should he be in ring? He's going to say, yeah, 100%.
Yeah, next week.
Because at the end of the day, listen, this is boxing. The prize fighters, they're in it to earn money. And when they retire at...
Don Charles doesn't mince words. He calls it 100% wrong. Because in boxing, one mistake can cost a life. 3 failed tests aren't accidents, they're a pattern. And Charles doesn't just blame Benn. He blames the governing bodies for letting things drag on. Eubank Jr., meanwhile, doesn't need to say much. He's already won the moral fight.
Drugs, I mean, this is very unforgiving. You can't, I'm sorry. Provided he's been found, it's 100% that those substances were found in his system, it's unforgiving. And you know what? I blame the governing bodies because I don't believe that they imposing heavy enough fines.
By now, even Eddie Hearn sounds emotionally drained. He keeps mentioning friendship, loyalty, history, as if trying to convince himself that Conor is still the same kid he believed in. But fans don't care about memories. They care about integrity. And after 3 positive tests, Conor Benn has shattered that word completely. Eubank Jr., calm, clean, professional, Duke McKenzie returns with one final truth. When a fighter steps into the ring enhanced, it's not just cheating, it's
Everybody will plead their innocence. When you got a kid that you've known for, I don't know, 6-7 years, who, you know, virtually lives with Tony Sims, who is, you know, a very close friend of mine, the most, you know, 100% solid man in boxing, who spent 13, 14 weeks with his dad living in his house, who comes into your office, you know, breaking down on the floor, pleading his innocence, looking you in his eyes, giving you every opportunity to tell you the truth. And when you see the facts, I believe that Conor Benn is innocent. Maybe it's because he's my
gambling with someone else's life. And that's why the outrage is justified. 3 failed tests, 3 chances wasted. The trust is gone. Meanwhile, Eubank Jr. stands for what boxing should be. Clean, proud, and professional. Adam Catterall takes it even deeper. He asks the question no one wants to answer. What happens if something goes wrong on fight night? If a dope fighter hurts someone in the ring, the sport itself collapses. This isn't just about Conor Benn. It's about a system that's become too lenient, too slow, too forgiving. And until that changes, fighters like Eubank Jr. will keep carrying the torch for real integrity.
Take his license away. You know, because you cannot cheat in the sport of boxing. Not if you're going to put on a pair of gloves and get inside that square circle and physically fight somebody, and potentially you could easily lose your life, then to take anything which will give you enhance your performance
and get paid.
Correct.
This should not be their decision. The British Boxing Board of Control should be standing up and taking the voluntary anti-doping test seriously. Absolutely. Yes, I know that you work with the UK anti-doping, I know that, but this is a test. He's popped hot. Let's look into it properly. What happens what if something happens on Saturday night?
Absolutely.
What if we've already got a safety issue?
No matter what drugs you take, it doesn't make you a better fighter. It might make you stronger, it might make you fit. It doesn't make you a better fighter. That's proof. You know, so until more news comes.
Conor is a far better fighter than Chris Eubank Jr. is a boxer. Technically, yeah. And that's the problem that Chris Eubank Jr. is having. He's got this thing in his mind. He's a masterful boxer. No, you're not. No.
Finally, Johnny Nelson sums it up. He's not angry anymore. He's disappointed. because boxing has reached a breaking point. Everyone claims they just found out, but the timelines never add up. Even those who once defended Benn now sound exhausted. And through it all, Eubank Jr. stays calm, clear, and composed. He's walking into this fight with the mental edge, the moral high ground, and the momentum of a man who's done everything right. If Eubank Jr. wins, he cements his legacy as the clean, disciplined fighter who stood tall through chaos. If Benn somehow pulls it off, controversy will drown every punch he throws. So the question is simple: are you backing Eubank Jr. to finish this clean? Or do you believe Conor Benn can still shock the world? Drop your thoughts below, smash that like button, subscribe, and stay locked in for the latest updates from the world of boxing. Until next time, keep your gloves up and your record clean.